Okay, I'm alive. So, what I want to talk about is how gang stalkers want to be in good neighborhoods. Okay? If you've watched, and a lot of them are just entitled people and they feel like they deserve so much more than they're giving to good people. So, I feel like this, like, gang stalkers want to be in good neighborhoods, probably for the obvious reasons that we all know, yet they thrive so much better in bad neighborhoods. They thrive better in bad neighborhoods because, and I wouldn't be surprised if people wouldn't want to watch this video, but gang stalkers thrive better in bad neighborhoods because they're amongst people that are like them. They can plan and plot things against the good people who can. They can get away with their criminal activity, their drug infestations, their burglary, and their little rings and cults that they have going on. They feel comfortable in that infestation and that place where they can manifest all their negative and filthy things. That's where they feel most comfortable. But yet, because they have that ego and they feel entitled, they believe that they deserve to be in better neighborhoods. And they'll say this and that about their job and things like that. But at the end of the day, they really aren't deserving to be in good neighborhoods. And when they go to these good neighborhoods, if they can actually get in these good neighborhoods, they're usually, in my mind, the only reason why they want to go there is to plot against wealthier people. They want to get in people's business, get in people's information. They always want to be driving around looking for an opportunity to do something bad to people who have more than them. So it's like white people can't be stupid, right? White people can't be just these horrible racist people, right? So black people always give you these stories that like when a couple of black people moved in, the white people started moving out. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that when the white people noticed that those black people that were moving in were bad people, starting a lot of problems and gonna be a problem, their intuition spoke to them. God spoke to them and said, yeah, there's gonna be some terror in the neighborhood. These people are gonna cause some problems. They got up and they got the F out of there because they didn't want to be mentally boggled down with the stresses that these criminal people would produce. They didn't want their children to be traumatized with post traumatic stress syndrome because of the things that these people would do, because of their mentality of being less fortunate. So if they feel less fortunate and, nobody cares about them, whatever excuses they want to make, then they're going to essentially dog out the people that they feel are more fortunate. So those white people get out of there. Can you blame them for doing that? Can you blame them for having intuition? Most of those places that those white people got out of, now the black people pretty much have all to their self. And look at those places. Or the minorities, even in places where there's certain groups of minorities. Some it works, but some it just doesn't because they're criminal infested minorities. Those places where those people can dwell on their own are horrible places, a lot of them. Unless those black people or certain minorities go to certain areas in that neighborhood that are more costly than the average people in that neighborhood, those people don't feel safe and they're not safe. And the only reason why the people who are safe they go to the little more expensive parts of the neighborhood are because those other people don't belong in that part. And if they do go in that part, they stick out like a sore thumb. So you can easily just call the police on them and it'll be suspicious, pretty much. the way that they're building some of these neighborhoods. So I'm just here to say that I'm tired of black people. I love black people. I love all people for the most part. As long as you're not doing anything evil to me, I can accept you. I do have general opinions and stereotypes that the general people have, but at the same time, I weigh each person individually for themselves also. I still use my intuition though. I'm not going to be stupid and something telling me something's dangerous about this person or suspicious, and I'm going to be like, oh, but let me be fair. Because when I try to do that, a lot of times, and my intuition is telling me something's not right about them, usually something bad always does happen. So I'm tired of black people, my people, saying that they want something so much better, yet what they're currently offering is no good. What they're currently offering is no good. But then I'm supposed to believe that they're going to get in these neighborhoods and just change. I don't believe that. Like, I feel like you are who you were then. If you were a good person in a bad neighborhood, you're going to be a good person in a good neighborhood. If you're a bad person in a bad neighborhood, you're going to be a bad person in a bad neighborhood. There's nothing else to it. And so, these people get mad when people are looking at them suspiciously, but you always have the ability to prove yourself as a person and who you are. Somebody can look at you and keep looking at you, but if they notice that all you are is good every time they look at you and they can't find anything wrong about you, then that's what it is. There's nothing to really be concerned about. But these people, they're always worried about somebody at the end of the day. Like, security's like, oh, I'm gonna follow you around. You have a backpack, or I'm gonna follow you around. Okay, come on, take a walk with me. I'm cool with that. Like, I surrender. At that point, I'm not gonna sit up there and just keep talking about, oh, why are you following me? Why are you looking at me? Sometimes, like I said, but sometimes I invite them on the journey with me. You can walk with me. I'd be glad for you to walk with me sometimes. So maybe you can get these crazy lunatics off of me, because that's the state of mind that I'm in right now. And like, people used to do that with me and my best friend. And my best friend would just be talking to him for hours, to the point, not hours, but he would just talk to him and they would but I invited them, like, if you want to walk with us, go ahead. Like, we're not going to steal anything. His backpack's already full. What is there for him to take? His backpack was full when he walked in here. But I see people with flat backpacks and open, and they don't say anything to those people. I'm like, sometimes people just like to mess with the attractive people and the people who have a certain light on them, and they just want to really talk to those people. But the other people, they don't even waste their time with. So yeah, it's not about a race thing or a black and white thing. And I'm not even saying use stare decisis where you base things off of the last thing that happened. It's just that people do generalize things, and people see things, and they see the demographics of things. They see who's committing these crimes, what type of people are doing it, what they look like. So, like I said, you have every way and right to prove yourself, but don't be talking about these white people who left neighborhoods, who are now what are now currently horrible neighborhoods, and there's nothing but black people in them. You can't get along with each other good enough. But then you're going to go change for some white people? That's ridiculous. But maybe that's what they needed. I don't think you should start with a neighborhood, though. Maybe you should go venture out and go to some places. I don't know. I don't recommend any gang stalker or horrible monster demon to go around any people, to be honest, until you fix yourself inside. But yeah, like, I'm sick of it. And I hear Candy Grand Prix always talking about, why don't I deserve this? Why don't I deserve that? And I'm just like, you are a gang stalker. And a lot of people on here are gang stalkers. Young Still is probably a gang stalker. I think he's a gang stalker. I'm going to just be honest with you. I think that dude is a 100% gang stalker. And, I could be wrong, but that's just, if I had to lean over to one side, I would put him in the gang stalking category. Candy Grand Prix, definitely a gang stalker. Even if they get gang stalked, they're still gang stalkers. I don't gang stalk people, and I'm not a gang stalker, but I get gang stalked. So these people, like I said, cry about not having. If Candy Grand Prix had a car, that would be devastating to some people. I don't care if she has one or not, but she probably gets speeding tickets and all type of stuff. But it's just the fact that she's gonna use her vehicle to gang stalk people. She's going to be in the comfort of her home to gang stalk people. She's a person who wants to eat and watch people. That's who she truly is. She wants to eat and watch people and get paid to gang stalk. Listen to people's conversations if their phones are hacked. Watch people if there's some type of cameras that have been made available for them to watch these people on. That's what she does, and that's what a lot of these people on here perpetrating to be gang stalked do. They watch people and then they get on the internet and they start talking about everything that person talked about or whatever that person did for the day. They act like they're that person or blah 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 blah. It's like very unoriginal type behavior and activities that go on with them. Very seldomly is there anything original about them. And then it's not that, they're just around certain people or watching certain people. It's like they act like it's all them. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is my idea. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. They don't refer to any specific thing. And that's, you don't have to. It's just kind of annoying, especially when it's repetitive, extremely repetitive. But people need to stop saying that they deserve all this goodness when they know they a gang stalker. You don't deserve a car when you're gang stalking people. Anything you have, you are lucky because you don't deserve anything, in my opinion. You don't deserve a house. You don't deserve a car. You don't deserve, you definitely don't deserve to live in a good neighborhood, and you definitely don't deserve a car because all you're going to do is use all that against the good people who are there. Gentrification, whatever that comment was that that man left, that doesn't really exist. You can't have a neighborhood full of bad people and bring some good people in. Those bad people are just going to attack the good people because there's more bad people than good people. The only way they can do that is literally start kicking all those other people out and then bringing the good people in. That's the only way that works. There's no other way. So I just wanted to talk about that. Like the what is that Black Lives Matter lady? Like she feels like she deserves to be in a mansion and deserves to live in the white neighborhoods. I'm like, why? You really haven't even done anything for the black community besides sell a couple t-shirts with people's faces on it and profit off of it. There is nothing that you can say that you built anything for those African American people who were going through things. You benefited off of people dying. You cannot be trusted ever because who knows? You probably killing people, setting people up so that they can die so you can get some campaign money or whatever it is. I don't trust that BML or BLM thing. I don't trust that at all. Anything that has to do with profiting when somebody dies, that's like life insurance. It's the same thing. You're profiting, you're using these people who get shot up by cops and who knows who's setting that up. Some type of organized crime, and then you're making money off of that. The families probably, some of the families are probably involved in it as well because they're getting checks. What's that girl's name? Bree, whatever her name is. I don't know. How they came outside and she ran outside. Man, it looked like somebody told her something or did something to her, and they was setting up her getting shot because the dude kicked the one girl in the face. The cop didn't do nothing about that. And then, she goes trying to stab somebody. They did something horrible to that girl, and they provoked her. That was looked like a gang stalking setup to me, to be honest. And I'm probably sure a lot of those cases had to do with some gang stalking. They knew the cops were going to come and something bad was going to happen to them. They all point the finger at that girl, and they don't tell you what they did to that person. It's all a scam. It's a scam. A scam to take people's lives, take their money, take their belongings, get insurance off of them, get money from these organizations, get donations, get GoFundMes, get all this crap after you kill a person who didn't deserve to be killed, or a person that you provoked or traumatized in some type of way, and then brought the authorities over and pointed the finger at that person. Ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah. Black people, if you're not gonna level up in your own neighborhoods, because I don't see what the point. Why would you why would you not want to be in a neighborhood with your own people? Oh, because right. Yeah. All those reasons. Okay, yeah. You talk about white people so bad, but I want to live in the neighborhood with them. I deserve to be in a neighborhood with them. How do you talk about white people so bad, but then you want to live next to them? Live next to your own people. Help me understand that. What do you really want? And that's all I have to say.